them together? Pets. Okay.
The National Education Association says 96% of school districts across the U.S. are reporting difficulties finding substitute teachers. 40% of those schools say the shortage is serious enough that classes are suffering.
We're always looking for substitutes. However, the need in Leon County is far less than it is in some other districts because we have both universities and community college and state government here. So we are at an advantage compared to some other districts.
Leon County requires at least 60 hours of college credit and 20 hours of substitute training before a sub can get in front of a class. There's also recommendation requirements, a background check, and fingerprinting that must be done, which makes subbing in Leon County a little different. Fran Trafton has been subbing in Leon County for about a decade. She's been an educator for 3.
When I finished teaching full-time, I had 3 boys, and it gave me a chance to still stay in with education, but also to stay home with them when needed.
It's this flexibility which has kept her happy and subbing for 10 years.
I can go when I want to, and I can say no when I don't want to go, but I usually don't do that because I usually go.
And the district is glad she does. With nearly every other profession, if someone calls in sick, appointments can be rescheduled and meetings moved. But when a teacher calls in sick, the show must go on. So subs wait for that call every morning to fill some awfully big shoes. In Tallahassee, Amanda Anderson, ABC News Channel 27 on your side.
Something else pops up, you know what I mean? It's just out there, it's just looking at. So where'd you come from? Utah. Utah. That's a little different. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. All these are small. Okay. One's a red cane. This is red. This is blue. Yeah.
More than 28 years with the sheriff's office, Major John Schmidt was asked to retire on Friday after an internal investigation revealed a decade-long friendship with owner of local restaurant Village Pizza, a convicted felon Abdullah or Adam Barty. The sheriff broke the news to Schmidt after Internal Affairs uncovered Schmidt had on more than one occasion attempted to have Barty's felonies reduced to misdemeanors to avoid deportation, accepted gifts from Barty, and testified to Barty's good character in federal court.
I was thinking with my heart more than my head. I had a great love for Adam and his entire family, and his wife and his entire family, and it was my hope that I could mentor him and mentor the family. And
Schmidt says he's sad to leave the sheriff's office, but respects the sheriff's decision. Schmidt says retirement was looming in his future, and now he's going to take it easy.
And I'm just going to move forward. There's going to be some doors that are going to open. There's going to be opportunities. I have a tremendous, wonderful group of friends that have been very supportive, and I look forward to the next 10 or 15 years.
FarmShare usually distributes surplus produce from South Florida.
Okay.
But due to crop damage from Hurricane Wilma, this year they're giving out packaged goods.
We have the cereals, Honey Nut cereal, easy for the kids. Got the crackers in, Animal crackers. Then we have the juice.
Organizers of today's event at Tiffany Park on County Road 12 say in contrast to other food banks, FarmShare takes the food to the people.
And because what we try to do is go into the areas where the people's actually at because of the transportation many don't have, and try to serve those low-income areas.
The program requires dozens of volunteers who unload food,
This is going to be the last call.
direct traffic, and deliver bags to individual vehicles.
Because, you know, it's a lot of people need a lot of things now. And this is a bad thing, that people's be needing stuff and can't get it.
That's all I need in the community, and I decided to come out and help out. It's a great cause, and I think you should share Christmas spirit with everyone.
I'm on to what y'all are doing.
And the recipients are grateful for the help.
We come out every time they do it.
I just feel like it's a blessing from God.
In the 1940s and 50s, Wakulla Springs was a popular location for making movies, including several Tarzan films and The Creature from the Black Lagoon. But Dr. David Loper says the Springs movie days are over.
Yeah, if the Creature from the Black Lagoon came back today and tried to swim in the basin, he couldn't because of all the hydrilla.
According to Dr. Loper, hydrilla is a non-native species introduced to Wakulla Springs during the past 2 decades. He says it grows at a rate of 6,000 pounds per day and is turning the once pristine waters into, well, a black lagoon.
Rampant growth is being fueled principally by nitrate in the groundwater. The 2 primary sources of nitrate are the spray field run by the city of Tallahassee and septic tanks.
Dr. Loper and his team are urging Leon and Wakulla counties to take action on the septic tank problem, and they're also asking the city of Tallahassee to reduce nitrate at its Southeast Farm spray field.
If the nitrate went back to levels of 20 or 30 years ago, the hydrilla would still be here. You can't eradicate it, but the balance of nature would shift much more back towards the native vegetation.
Visitor Ron Chung never saw Wakulla Springs in its native state, but he's concerned about further hydrilla damage.
It's a beautiful tourist attraction. I think it gets its share of visitors, and I think it would be a shame if something were to happen to it because we weren't taking care of it.
Meanwhile, Dr. Loper looks back at the spring's better days.
And the glass bottom boat is really sad now, I'll tell you. Used to be really nice. It's just sad to see it now.
In Wakulla Springs, Todd Morrill, ABC News Channel 27, on your side.
So I know there is a God and there is a way out.
Ken Knuckles fled a relationship in Orlando looking for something better. He headed north and found the bottle. Knuckles is one of millions who share a similar story and end up in camps of homeless people living on the streets or in wooded areas.
Oh, it's just like murder. There's fear, and you can't get warm, you cannot sleep. All you can do is be awake and try to stay warm. Put on any kind of clothing you can find. It's just not easy.
This may not look like much to you and I, but when this is all you have, it means something to the people that live here. They entertain here, they decorate, they cook in this modified kitchen, and they even sleep on these old mattresses just thrown in the woods.
This time of year, camp life gets rough, which has many of the area's homeless crowding into one of 2 emergency shelters in Tallahassee. Both the shelter and Haven of Rest are open nightly and are seeing record-breaking numbers at this time of year.
The other night, we did have 196 people here sleeping. So you will find extremes in temperature, hot and cold, draw people to the shelter.
Is that a TV?
No one is turned away into the cold, and for some, like Ken Knuckles, finding these shelters can be the difference between life and death.
Life has changed now because I'm going to be independent now. I can have warmth here and food and try to be part of this, which is better than being by myself.
These people are like you and me, and most of them are just one paycheck away from homelessness, and then they don't get that paycheck, and then they're into homelessness.
For these people, there is hope. Ken Knuckles, like many who came before him, walked into a shelter and isn't homeless anymore. In Tallahassee, Amanda Anderson, ABC News Channel 27, on your side.
It's going to bring us closer together. I know it is.
Ann and Steve Rhodes built this Buck Lake area house themselves 15 years ago. Early Thursday morning, the chimney caught fire and the blaze spread to the rest of the house.
We all immediately got out. We left with what we had on our back because we didn't want to take any chances. Dining area, that was the living room.
Although the house is a total loss, Rhodes says she's just happy that she, her husband, and 3 sons escaped.
We have our lives, and that's what counts the most.
Rhodes says it was smoke alarms, which went off just before 3 in the morning, that alerted her to the blaze.
They saved our lives because that's what I heard. And my husband didn't hear it because he can't hear high-pitched noises.
Toys, anything like that. And that way.
The Tallahassee Fire Department agrees on the importance of smoke detectors.
The smoke is actually what will overcome you and get it to where you cannot get outside. So that's actually the most important thing you can have in your house to make sure you get out of your house safely.
But the Rhodes are not the only area family to lose a home to fire recently. Red Cross officials say they've responded to 6 house fires in the Big Bend this week.
We have almost transitioned from the hurricane season into the home fire season now that we have cold weather.
The Red Cross urges residents to have professionals inspect central heating systems, wood-burning stoves, and fireplaces before it gets any colder. Although the warning comes too late for the Rhodes, the fire did spare some of their most cherished possessions.
They're all stacked. One saving grace was I had a tub full of pictures that I hadn't put them in books or anything, and it was under a bed, and it was saved. So I have those pictures. So I've got my memories. Being that we could save some of the furniture, but I don't think we're going to be able to.
In Tallahassee, Todd Morrill, ABC News Channel 27, on your side. It smells great, tastes great, but that doesn't mean it's not going to make you sick.
No one wants to end up in the emergency room at the hospital, local hospital, after a nice holiday meal, and it happens over and over again every year.
Food experts say there are several things you should keep in mind as you prepare and store your Thanksgiving feast. First, they say hands, utensils, and cutting boards should all be washed carefully after coming in contact with raw turkey.
Dishwasher is good, soap and hot water is good, and just a chemical sanitizer. A little bit of bleach goes a long way. A teaspoon of bleach and a gallon of water will sanitize all your equipment.
And be especially careful to keep raw turkey away from other foods.
Raw turkey, other raw food items can easily contaminate foods that are traditionally served raw, like a salad.
To make sure a cooked turkey is free of salmonella and other bacteria, experts say it's important to use a food thermometer.
When it's done, it should register 180 degrees at the center of the turkey, and you can't really tell that by the amount of time that it's cooked.
And the dangers don't end once the turkey comes out of the oven. You can also give yourself food poisoning by leaving turkey and other foods on the table too long.
Leftovers, you can have them actually out. You've got company over. They're good for 3-4 hours out at room temperature, but then you got to get them in the refrigerator, and then the next day heat it up to at least 160 degrees.
In Tallahassee, Todd Morrill, ABC News Channel 27, on your side.